like we did the last time also. So can you please ask us?
Hello.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, Snigdha and Ayushi, can you ask some questions from the class?
What is your background?
I'm sorry. She is done
Ma'am,
BBA and MBA.
yes.
So why are you looking for giving bank probationary office exams after doing an MBA?
Because I feel that because I've always wanted to be a banker, and there is a lot of scope for promotion and growth within the banking organization that I would go into. And it is much faster than that if I would have been in a corporate setting.
Can you explain banking to us? What is banking according to you?
So banks are financial institutions that are safe house for the public money, and they also help in giving loans that uh, that is used for development and infrastructure of the economy. And banks are a regulatory body that sorry, banks are key components of the financial regulatory body of any country, and they are essential for every individual as well as business as well as industry to function properly. And
What is demand deposit? Any idea?
demand deposit, no, sir.
So demand deposit is basically what you have in a savings account in bank, right? Anytime you can go and
Yes,
demand to get it. Okay. Hello.
yes,
So tell us about some banking terms that you have heard recently.
sir. I've studied about the CRR, about the SLR, about the interest rates and uh, mortgages.
What is the CRR currently?
The CRR is at 4% right now. It was previously at 4.5%, but right now it is at 4%,
And SLR is how much?
18%.
And any idea what is the total amount of deposits in Indian banks as of today?
No, sir.
Okay, tell us something about Karnataka Bank.
Karnataka Bank is a scheduled bank which was inaugurated on 18th of February 1924. Its present chairman is Shri Krishnan Hariharan Sharma, and it is having about 915 branches all across India. Its slogan is Your Family Bank Across India. It is a private sector bank. It is one of the leading private sector banks in India with its headquarters in Mangaluru, and it is having about 8,500
8,500.
employees.
So suppose we put you in a very highly backward area, then you accept it.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about a difficult situation you have faced and how you overcame it.
Sir, a difficult situation I faced was back during school time when I had to shift from science to commerce, and I did not understand the commerce subject, but I had to work twice as hard in class 11 and I scored very well. So it was a great learning experience for me because it was a combination of using my intelligence and being diligent also and to search for solutions instead of getting disheartened when I'm not able to understand a certain concept in studies.
Any questions, Snigdha and Ayushi?
Can you explain? Do you know what non-performing assets are?
Yes. So non-performing assets are of three types: substandard, uh, and loss, and one more which I cannot recall, ma'am. But non-performing assets are assets which are, for example, if there is a person who has taken a loan from the bank and is not paying the EMI for more than 90 days, then it becomes a non-profitable asset to the bank, which is also a liability. So it comes under non-performing assets, and those are of three types. And once the asset has not been giving any returns for over 12 months, it is called a loss.
So do you know what is the situation of government banks regarding NPS currently?
The rate, you mean the rate of NPS?
Yeah.
NPA. The rate is around 4.15%, if I'm.
Is this the same over the last few years, or is this an improvement or a worse performance compared to, say, the last 5 years?
It is a marginally slightly better performance than the last few years, not very different.
So banks hardly have a margin of 2 to 3%. If NPAs are 4%, basically it means the banks are under a lot of stress, no?
Yes, sir.
So do you think the banking system may collapse and the Indian economy may collapse because of that?
No, sir, I don't think so because there is always scope of growth in the Indian economy, and India is a growing nation, GDP wise and economically. So there will always be the need of banks to regulate the huge amounts of money that is required for lending, infrastructure development, as well as so many people in the country are depositing the money in the bank. And there are other things also that banks provide through which they profit. So I do not think that the banking industry will collapse.
Have you read about the budget which was presented today?
Yes, sir.
Tell us the two outstanding things that have been done.
So the first outstanding thing done has been that tax has been the tax slabs have changed, and up to 12 lakh per annum is not taxable under the new schedule if a person follows the new schedule. And also a lot of schemes for development have come, like for example the Udan scheme, where where about I where about 400 new sectors of flight would be started.
What are your hobbies?
My hobbies include playing instruments and singing and painting.
Bankers are known as hard-nosed, hard-nosed banker. And you are into arty stuff, singing, playing instruments. How do you reconcile that?
Sir, those are my hobbies. That is not my profession. So I am a different person when I am in the office and when I am working than when I am at home. And it is not as if the bankers cannot have leisure and find joy in painting or playing instruments. These are my childhood hobbies. I do not think that they will interfere with my profession.
Any particular banker whom you are very fond of?
My childhood teacher has actually been a banker for most of my life, and I am very much inspired by her. I'm very much inspired by my teacher. She is in SBI as a PO for many years. So
So
I would say
he
that
was an
she is my
SBI PO,
inspiration.
then how was he your teacher?
She was my tuition teacher before she got the job.
So now what is she doing?
She's in SBI
As what?
as a probationary officer.
No, PO is for initial stage, na?
Right now, I am not in touch with her since last 1 or 2 years, so I do not know which position she is holding. But she had joined as a PO before her marriage.
Okay, suppose you have to fund a project, okay,
Yes.
and the life of that instrument that you are going to fund is 3 years.
Okay.
So for how long will you fund it? 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, how many years?
Not more than 5 years. So I
Not
will
more than
fund it
five
for
years.
5 years. Yeah.
But the life is 3 years, I said, na?
Yes. So given
So how
that
will you fund how will you fund something for 5 years when it is going to be having a life of 3 years only?
I assume that the project would not take off and would get delayed. That is why I said that I would only fund it up to 5 years.
You are taking 2 years gestation for the project.
In case of any, I mean, that's what I understood. That
But
that is
you
the
should
maximum
suppose
outstanding that I would fund it.
suppose the company is not profitable, then you have to be able to sell the product also, na, which you are funding. So if it is having a life of 3 years, how can you fund it for 5 years?
Right.
You will have to fund it for something less than 3 years, na?
Yes, sir. But I my mistake. I chose from your options 5 years, 7 years, and 10 years. I chose from your option. So if the life is only for 3 years, then it can only be funded for 3 years.
Or less.
Yes.
What's the meaning of your name, Ambika?
Ambika is another name for goddess Parvati, who is the wife of Lord Shiva and was also a princess in the epic Mahabharata. But originally, it is a synonym for Parvati
So
or
what are the qualities of Parvati that you think you also have?
I think that I have a calm and composed nature, and I have a nurturing attitude towards the people around me. So that would be the similarity. Otherwise, I cannot compare my qualities with the qualities of such a huge deity. But if I had to pinpoint, that would be the things I said.
Do you want to tell us anything about yourself which will help your candidature?
Sir, I am a loyal and dedicated, hardworking professional who has this ability to relearn the things that I have learned before and are not working in my favor. So I think that I would be a very good candidate for this job. Rest is up to you and the panel.
Okay, thank you very much. Aishi, what's your view on Ambika?
So I think she did well. Most of the answers, like the academic ones, the questions regarding banks, those were well formed.
Gita? I also think it was a decent interview, Ambika. So just
Thank you.
brush up on the work experience that you are saying. Na? You have some work experience in a CA firm and all.
Yeah.
So brush up on that, okay?
Okay. Sir, is it better than the last one?
Yes, definitely.
I hope.
Okay.
Okay.
So tomorrow again we'll meet at 8:45 then.
Okay.
Okay, bye. Good night.
Yes, sir.
Thank
Good
you.
night,
Good
Thank you,
night.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night, sir.